You're listening to Expansion, the podcast for EXP agents. Expand your skill. Expand your value. Here's your host, Glenn Sanford.
Hey everyone, Glenn Sanford here, founder of eXp Realty, and today I'm excited to talk to Phil and Yulia Mariani. They're out at Winter Garden, Florida. They run a small team there. But hey, welcome, Phil and Yulia.
Thank you, Glenn. Thanks for having us.
Thank you so much, Glenn. We're so excited being here.
Oh well, thank you. And just coming into the conversation, it sounds like you with your team, you've kind of got two different segments to your business. But maybe before we jump in, maybe tell us a little bit about your guys' background. How did you get started in real estate? Just sort of that whole journey.
Sure.
If you want, I'll go first. So for me there, Glenn, my background prior to real estate was 25 years in the health and fitness industry. And started off as a personal trainer. I actually competed in some bodybuilding competitions back in 2009 and 10. Got into weight management. I did corporate fitness, all spectrums of the health and wellness industry. And from there, we actually got into our first franchise. We got me and Yulia purchased a smoothie shop. And then, again, sticking with the health and wellness, but we were always very entrepreneurial. And then from there, as we, 7 years later said, you know what, this is a lot of stress. And we decided to sell that. And that we came to a crossroads where we were like, well, what do we want to do next? And one of the things that we always agreed upon and we always loved was real estate. I know, at an early on, my father always told me, buy your own house, own a house, not rent. I have one of those old school fathers, Italian dads,
Right.
And so I said, so I finally came to the decision, well, I always thought about, we love real estate. We actually had a couple of investment properties prior to getting involved in the industry. And I said, it just made sense. So I just made a decision. I said, you know what, I'm going to get my real estate license. I always thought about it. I never pursued it. I love working with clients, working with people. I've been doing that for years. And so I just made the decision beginning of 2015 to get my real estate license. And I got licensed in April 5th, 2015 and started running from there.
Awesome. And so owning a franchise, a smoothie shop, for what did starting a franchise cost you in terms of like the original investment and what were you on the hook for in that business?
Now I'm gonna let Yulia answer that because she ran the store full time, so she'd be a perfect to answer that one.
So the acquisition purchase was a little under $200,000, and at that time we had two investment properties. We took out an SBA loan, and SBA they put like an umbrella on both of our properties in order to give us a loan to purchase the store. So to make sure that we pay back the SBA loan. So we had that, but I believe our down payment was a little bit more than 20%. Interest rate was 11. It was like 10.95.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, on a business. But other than money, it honestly consumed our entire life. It was Monday through Sunday, 6 a.m. until 11 p.m. So our daughter was born that year as well. It was very, very, very difficult. And then my husband had another idea to purchase a second store, which I thought he was out of his mind, but we still did it because we're entrepreneurs and we love taking chances. So we went and we purchased a second store in 2005, sold that right away in 2006 because it was too much, way too fast. But have we known then what we know today, I would have never purchased a business that where
or a franchise, I guess.
Or a franchise. Yeah, where
Right.
our franchise fees were like 8%. So Yeah, and that all overhead and employees and whatnot. It was totally like a slave job.
And at that time, Glenn, that's when food and gas prices was on the rise. So it just really squeezed the bottom line for us as owners to a point where, the saying, you're the first in, the last out and the last to get paid. And that's kind of what it kind of came to,
Yeah.
Okay. So real estate is a much better career path is what you're alluding to.
Yeah, it's been a complete blessing in our lives. Absolutely.
Yeah. And
Awesome.
we started investing into real estate in our early 20s. We actually did buy our first property before we even got married. And so that was our first property. And then we bought a second property and then third. And then 2015, we got our residential real estate license. So we're just truly loving real estate and every aspect of it. And what we went through with those properties back in 2008 gave us a really good
learning lesson.
Yeah, where we can share with our buyers right now. Okay, well, don't do this, but do that. So we can share those experiences from our personal life experiences and guide our first-time home buyers the right way, right?
Oh, excellent. So now, what was it that led you to EXP? I think you were with maybe a previous firm as agents.
Yeah, so we started in 2015, and we were EXP is actually our third brokerage, and the first two brokers that we were with were just small boutique brokerages, and which was great at the time because again we were just new to the industry. And then obviously I think with everyone, as you progress and grow in your career, you always want us as not only agents but entrepreneurs. We always had that hunger for growth, to want to do better, to want to learn more and have better opportunity. And I guess we felt like we outgrew those the prior brokerages, and coming to EXP just gave us that platform to just soar like an eagle, to grow. It just tremendous platform with tools and technology and just growth. Has been amazing for us, I would say.
With EXP, there's different avenues where you can make money. It's not just selling real estate, right? There's different avenues where we can make funds, money, like rev share, for example. That's been amazing. That's been really, really good.
Yeah, just having a platform, to have multiple streams of income was what really attracted us to the model. And, and not only that, just EXP being ahead of the curve, just being one of the first to be a cloud-based brokerage, especially during the time when COVID first hit. I felt like, wow, EXP was so ahead of the curve than any other brokerage out there. So, it was like, we got some, there's something special here. And so just a little bit of everything what attracted us, but just having the ability to have multiple streams of income and to grow and have the tools and technology along with it, with the compensation plan and just leadership like you guys has been amazing.
Awesome. Well, thank you for that. And now when you joined EXP right after COVID, maybe 2021, how did COVID impact your decision?
I think we actually were. What was it? I think our date was.
August.
I think it was like August 2021. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Yeah, I think it was an easy transition. Like I said, we didn't have to worry about going to an office, and we just adapted like everybody had to do. Where people were getting scared or not. I guess like the saying goes, where people were not wanting to leave their house, we saw it as opportunity. Like I said, in everything in life, there's always opportunity, right? So we saw it immediately as opportunity, and we just adapted quickly to what we needed to do, take the precautions we needed to do, and we went out there and continued to serve clients and help people get into homes. And so it was a nice transition, and just having again just a cloud-based brokerage and having everything online, EXP World was just a simple transition, I think.
Excellent. Now, what's your business look like? I think we chatted before. You've got maybe two sides of the business, and the kind of maybe runs differently. But maybe just share, how are you how do you run your, like, what does your business look like? How are you generating clients? How are you sort of dividing up the labor there?
Yeah, so I handle all the listings, the listing leads, to work with all the sellers, and then Yulia, and then also our daughter is an agent as well with us, and they work with all the buyers and buyer leads, and we kind of just, I guess, to kind of divide and conquer, and kind of, again, we definitely focus on our strengths, and which is great is having a family-run team. There may be something that Yulia is stronger than I, or maybe she's more relatable with clients than me, and we kind of really I think help to diversify that way and kind of just divide and conquer. And it's been, we started that going on 2 years now. We've been working that way, and so it's been working really good. We actually love it.
Yeah. So our business right now, we have approximately 68% of buyers, 32% of sellers. So to give you an idea, but buyers, I love. I started working with buyers back 9 years ago, and I'm still, on the road, just truly helping. I think it's more a passion than a work or a job. It's my personal passion is to help families get into homes, to have that American dream. Right, because I came to this country in 1990 as Jewish refugees. So American dream, to obtain American dream, it's huge for me. So I have a lot of immigrant buyers who come here and just just for them to visualize that they can be a homeowner, it's incredible. And then handing them over the keys, like now they own their own home in America. That's right. Priceless. And there's also people that just take, not immigrants, but like some people that might take this opportunity for granted, but just to own a home, for majority of immigrants, it is truly, truly priceless. It's a dream come true. So that's my passion. Like I'm a buyer's agent, 100%. I told my husband, you can have all the sellers. Yeah.
Well, ironically, I was a huge buyer's agent. In fact, I turned over all the listing stuff. I felt like I could always keep making buyer happy. Where sellers, I didn't feel like that was as easy a task because now
I pull Phil out, like whenever I get the listing or the seller. So I always think in my head, okay, it's time to bring out my pit bull.
So Yulia, obviously there's some changes going on in the industry, specifically around buyer broker. Have you started to use the buyer broker addendum? I know July 31st is coming up, but have you started to practice and start to have those conversations that we'll need to have yet?
Definitely practice. I'm just role playing within between my team, my coach. So we're doing a lot of role playing, a lot of preparation, because I want to make sure that I'm myself, that I'm comfortable, with the way I articulate my services, and to make sure that my buyers are taken care of at whatever cost it is.
Yeah.
I'll be very honest with you. I'm still very much concerned about the VA buyers. I hope and I pray that VA will bring something out, like FHA.
I think didn't VA didn't they come up with something like last week or the week before? I know FHA,
yeah.
But
Fannie Mae and Freddie Mac did.
Yeah, I haven't heard anything on VA buyers. Yeah.
Okay, I suspect that it will be. The reality is that everybody needs representation, and it needs to be able to be sort of taken care of someplace in the transaction, because a lot of buyers won't be able to come out of pocket. So I suspect that every mortgage type will support it. The only difference is that we'll just have to negotiate upfront for those commissions, as opposed to just accepting whatever is being published in the MLS. So
exactly. There's definitely a lot of preparation on my side. I'm doing a lot of reading. I'm educating myself to make sure that I do feel comfortable articulating the message. This is what's happening. This is where we're at, And with every change, there's an opportunity. It just makes us better and stronger agents.
And one thing I can also add, Glenn, is we love the fact that EXP is being very proactive with the agents on helping us prepare for that. So I would definitely add that.
Yeah, excellent. Now, what is your how are you generating? I guess you've got listing leads. You've got 68% of your business is on the buyer side. How are you generating those leads, whether it be on one or both sides, or a combination of the two?
I mean, I think we're seeing probably about 50% of our business, I would say, is between referral and repeat customers, and probably another 50% or so social media.
So social media, online leads, Google PPC, I tried for 2 weeks, and I don't know. I think where our business definitely is much better with referrals. We're getting a lot of referral business, being 9 years in real estate. And we've been in Central Florida since 1996. So we have a huge sphere. A lot of people know us. So that helps as well.
And we're very active on social media. Yeah. So people see us, day in and day out, showing homes, closing homes, serving customers, serving clients, educating them on different things going on in the market.
Yeah, I think
which social media platforms do you work the best for your business?
I would probably say Facebook and Instagram.
So Instagram #1, Facebook #2. But what's really taken off is stories and reels. Anything that has to do with video. People really want to see and feel who you are before they call you or text you. And just being authentic. I think that's
authenticity.
Authenticity. That's what really sells online right now.
And now, how do you build the audience? Is it just making sure you're putting content out there? Are you following lots of people? How do you build sort of the following?
I know one thing I do is every time we have a closing, we always connect with our clients on social media. We do a weekly email as well to stay in touch with them. And again, like Yulia said, just always putting ourselves out there, on social media. We always, if we see our clients, let's say their son is or their child is celebrating a birthday, we'll say, "Hey, happy birthday to your son." So we try to connect and keep in touch, as well on social media with our clients and their family as well.
So we mainly just put daily content, whatever it is. As soon as I step out of the house, hey, this is a day of a life of a real estate agent. So I just let people see what's going on in the back. Because
what's your on your for Instagram? Where would people follow you at, or do you have multiple Instagram channels?
We do, yeah. So mine is Phil Mariani Realtor, and then we also have T Mariani as well. And
mine will be just my first and last name, Yulia Mariani. I just keep it very simple. Very basic, people, that's where people get to see my personal life, my business life. And that's where people really get to know me.
Excellent. Now from you've obviously got, a number of people that you're working with. What CRM do you use to manage your business?
So I love Follow Up Boss, but my husband uses something else.
So I use KV Core, but Yulia's using Follow Up Boss. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
So do you have like CRM debates? Like, we should be on the same CRM.
Oh my gosh, yes.
We did until I threw the talent. Then.
So my husband has been trying to convert me into KV Core for 9 years. And I'm like, I said, Phil, I just need something that's very, very simple, just super simple, basic, where I can just go on and I can see everything. So simplicity is what attracts to me. And I found Follow Up Boss, and I was like, this is it. So I've been trying so hard for him to come with me to Follow Up Boss. But right now I have Follow Up Boss, Phil has KV Core. But obviously our clients, it's all the same.
We're kind of all one. We kind of merged, because prior to EXP, we had our own separate books of businesses, but through EXP, we run as a domestic partnership, which we love. So we kind of just, once we joined EXP, we just merged our businesses together.
Yeah.
Okay, awesome.
Prior to
yeah.
we were so competitive. Oh my gosh. I can sit here all day and tell you all about our like little competitions here and there, or when we had multiple offer situations, right? And we're going after the same house, and I have a buyer, and then Phil happens to have a buyer, and we're like putting offers like so on the same house, right? I'm like, I'm not telling you what I'm offering, so
it's true. She stuck to her word. She did not disclose.
I did not disclose because, of course, like I want my buyer to win. Why wouldn't you, right?
Right. Exactly. Exactly. So, well, if it's any consolation, it's between KV Core and Follow Up Boss. Those are the two CRMs that the most of our icons are on. Probably more icons on KV Core than Follow Up Boss, but partially, and that probably is partially because that's what they get for included. And just talked to an agent just a little bit ago, and he was paying $800 a month, I believe, for KV Core, and then came into EXP, and it was free. And so $800 a month versus included in the $85 a month. And for him, it was kind of a no-brainer to use it. But Follow Up Boss certainly is one that so many top teams use and love. So
yeah, I would agree with you.
Yeah.
So if there was one piece of advice that you could give to an EXP agent, what would it be? Maybe one from you, Phil, and one from you, Yulia.
I thought about that question, and really, like me and Phil, we talk about this all the time as well. So one piece of advice that I can give: the grass is greener where you water it. It's not any greener on the other side. It's greener exactly where you water it. That's one piece of advice, because you can go from brokerage to brokerage to brokerage, but unless you work it, it doesn't matter where you go.
Right. Good advice.
Yep. I would say, Glenn, definitely it's all about building relationships. Our business is all about relationships. And I think if you want to build a long-lasting business and you want to be successful in this business or this industry, you have to build, relationships first. I remember in the beginning when I first got started, you wanted that first sale so bad, to get it. And I felt like the harder I, chased just to get the sale, the more it avoided me, until I took I said, all right, let me take a step back and just focus on the client, focus on what are they really, what are they saying? What are they telling me? What do they really want? How can I help them get it? Because I know if I help them get what they want, I'll automatically go where I want to go.
Yeah, no, for sure. I kind of came up with a phrase for myself as an agent, which was calculate your commissions at the end of the year, not with every client. Because if you're just out there to serve, when you calculate at the end of the year, you will find out you had a great year. But if you take it personal when somebody doesn't do a transaction with you or you don't make the sale, it can deflate you and actually take you in the wrong direction. So just be of service, and then calculate how much you made at the end of the year, and just be in service mode and not worry about where it all falls in the short run.
Exactly.
Yeah, you're so right about that, Glenn, because majority of the time, if not most of the time, on the way to closing, I will ask Phil, do you know how much we're getting paid? What's our commission going to be like? Because we work, right? And they're like, can you please send me a commission disbursement so at least I know how much to collect the check for, because I don't even know. And then he'll get on my case. How can you not know?
So when it comes to tracking the business, I would say, Glenn, I'm probably better at that than Yulia. Since I started in the real estate industry, this is prior to having knowledge of a CRM. When I first got started, I never was introduced to a CRM. So I used to just started tracking everything in 2015. I started tracking everything on an Excel spreadsheet. So to this day, I still keep track of our closings on an Excel spreadsheet. So that's kind of like my go-to.
And then
Oh,
he'll
sure.
send me that Excel spreadsheet at the end of the year. I'm like, can I just look at it? Because he'll tell me the numbers and I'll be like, there's no way. Calculate the numbers at the end of the year. I'm like, there's no way.
Numbers don't lie, right?
There you go. Yeah, no, it's we a lot of times overestimate what we will do in the short run, and then underestimate what we do in the long run, and you probably noticed that your business just keeps on growing as long as you keep on being consistent. So, Yulia, Phil, thank you so much for jumping on the podcast here today. I really appreciate your time.
Of course, this has been amazing.
Yeah,
Thank you.
Thank you so much for having us and taking the time out as well.
Oh, you're welcome. And then you do have a website as well, teammariani.com, if I'm not mistaken.
teammariani.com. Mm-hmm.
And so go check them out. Check out their Instagram channels, and obviously Workplace and all the other places that we all connect. So with
That's
that,
right.
Thanks everyone.
Thank you.
Thank you. Thanks.
You've been listening to Expansion. Tune in every Tuesday for new episodes. Thanks for being the best part of EXP.